My name is Gemma Thompson. I am 24 and I am type 1 diabetic. I'm doing this video because I want to give you the day in the life of a type 1 diabetic. Every video that is out on YouTube just now is all about these people who are doing amazing at their diabetes, but for me and a lot of other people, that's not the way it goes for everyday life. Yeah, we can have some days where we're doing everything great and we're getting okay glucose, but I don't think I have ever in my life had a full day of all of my blood glucose being good. It's just not happened for me, and there's loads and loads of other people out there that are in the exact same position. So I want them to watch this video and know that they're not alone in that. So thanks to Siobhan who asked me to do this video. If you can all go and annoy Siobhan and tell her that she has to do one as well, I'll put her name down here. Please go and do that, because I am by no means a vlogger. I make these silly videos for a bit of fun because I'm a bit bored. I don't do it seriously, so to be talking about something quite serious, it's all Siobhan's fault, so please go and annoy her and ask her to do the same. I don't have a great time with diabetes. I've experienced many trips to the hospital, a lot of them in DKA, which is diabetic ketoacidosis. I think I got that right. But it's really just to show people that not everything is great all the time, and to take you around on my day and show you what I get up to and how the parts of diabetes affect my day. We're in lockdown just now, so there's actually not a great amount I can do, not a great amount I can show you. For example, like exercise. I'm not feeling good. I don't want to go out and exercise during lockdown. My head is pounding right now. That is just not what I'm going to do. So I won't see that part of it. Just going to try and show you other stuff that diabetes has its toll on. And hopefully if you are a type 1 diabetic that's not doing so great, you get a bit of comfort in knowing that there's more of us out here who aren't doing so great either. And although we are trying our best, it doesn't always go to plan, and we should be proud of what we're doing because we are trying hard. That is one thing I want everybody to know, is I don't care if your blood glucose is sitting at 20. If you've brought that down and you've worked hard, or even if you've not brought it down, if you're doing everything that you possibly can and you're not getting any results, that's okay. And be proud of yourself, because the fact that you're putting the effort into it in the first place is a big deal, and you should be proud of yourself like that. You're doing great, and don't let people forget that. You are doing so bloody good. Just keep going, keep trying, and don't give up. Because so let's rewind back to this morning and see what I got up to in the day. Good morning, everyone. So the first thing I do in the morning is I have to check my blood sugars. Obviously I've not moved, I'm still in my bed. So I've got a freestyle libre on my arm. Instead of doing like the blood tricky test, I'm going to check my blood sugar with my libre, see where we're at. So I use my phone as well, I don't use the little thing that they give you. So we're just going on an app. I'm ready to scan. 5.9, can you see it? Yeah, 5.9, which is amazing for me. I used to wake up with my blood sugars in like 17, 18, 19, 20, right up the way like to 25, like that was normal for me. Last week I drastically changed my insulin settings because I was waking up so high all of the time. I think maybe 2 weeks ago I changed them and brought them down, but I didn't bring them down that much, and then I found that literally every single night I was hypoing at like 3 in the morning. I was going into hypo, and I'd go down the stairs and I'd eat everything that was in the kitchen and then obviously waking up high again because I just pure overeating in the middle of the night. Drastically changed the pump settings, and I've been really bloody lucky because the past maybe 3 or 4 days I've been getting 5s and 6s and 7s when I wake up, which is really good blood sugars for me.
Now it's time to actually get up, go and make some breakfast and start my day rather than lazing about in my pyjamas all day. I've decided to have some granola with some unsweetened coconut milk and some fresh fruit. So I need to weigh all this out. Normally I would pick something pretty easy, like a slice of bread or something like that I can actually see the carbohydrates on the back, but I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier than what I normally do. So I'm having to weigh everything out, and because my maths isn't great and it was early in the morning, I didn't want to be thinking about it all. I have just went with what they've said on the portion size, which I mean, I suppose you're supposed to have portions, like normal portions, but I would normally eat 3 times that amount of granola, which I bet you isn't probably good for you. So yeah, I had like my 50 grams of granola, which was 22.6 carbohydrates, and I added that into my app. So I have the MyFitnessPal app, which is a lifesaver for me when it comes to diabetes. I just scan the food, the barcode on the food, and it will come up and it tells you what the carbohydrate and the calories and all the micronutrients that are in the food. So it's really good to have, especially if you're not the best with like counting carbs. You can download that app and start adding your food to it and scanning it and add it to that app. Then just add the carbohydrates from there, and if you've got a pump, it's easy work because you just put the amount of carbohydrates into the pump and it does it all for you. So it's really, really good that way. But yeah, so I today have weighed out all my breakfast. Not gonna lie, don't normally do it, only doing it because I'm trying to get a little bit more healthy, so I don't know what it normally is. Normally I just take like 2 slices of bread and some bacon or something like that, which all the ingredients are on the back, so I could just easily do it that way. But we're being healthy, so we have to start weighing some stuff out. And there we have it, my all laid out breakfast. We're about to eat breakfast, so we need to check our blood sugar and take our insulin. So I don't know, I've not already said, I take my insulin via a pump. It's attached to my belly. Yeah, I take it through this. I did used to do manual injections, but I was just not having any luck with them whatsoever. But yeah, let's check our blood sugars and finally get to eat our breakfast. Should be doing it something like 15 minutes before, but obviously when I'm weighing everything out, I don't know how much I'm going to eat, so I don't have 15 minutes before I eat because I'm starving. So I'm just going to jump right into that and eat that. I'm not going to wait 15 minutes when my bloods are done. So we're at 7.1, so it has gone up a little bit, but that's still totally fine. I have to go through the app and check all the carbohydrates and add them all up so that I know the total amount of carbohydrates that I want to put into my pump. So 7.1, and what did I say, 37? I think it was 37. I don't want to dual it or square it just because it's not that fatty and it's not that many carbs. Okay, so we have to go to the shop today. So we're actually going through a pandemic just now. So you're not meant to be going outside unless it's like essential. A quarter of the people that have died are actually diabetic, but we're not in like a shielded category for our health. So there's nobody actually knows what kind of impact it has on diabetics, if it does have a more severe impact. Obviously anything like the flu and all that can have a more severe impact, but the government aren't really treating it as if we are more vulnerable. So I've taken it upon myself to make sure that I definitely wear a mask when I go outside. Carry hand sanitizer and disinfectants everywhere just in case, because you can't be too safe. But yeah, so I'm going to have to put my mask on to go outside, which is going to look really strange. If I wasn't diabetic, I wouldn't be doing it, but better safe than sorry. So I'm going to put my mask on before we go out to the shops.
So as I said, disinfectants. And it's all my wipes that I've not been able to throw away because I've not had a bin. My disinfectant for my steering wheel and for all the handles and everything. And then I've got my hand sanitizer in here. And I don't have a mask because PPE is really hard to get. So I've been making my own mask with a bandana that I have. So that's what I'm going to do just now. Mask ready. Mum's not taking the same precautions because she's not diabetic. So yeah, it's my go-to mask. So we did get a couple of stares at my mask, but it doesn't matter. When we finished shopping, I also hand sanitised my hands and I disinfected all the handles and the bags that we use for shopping. Okay, so I'm really hungry, so I'm going to try and find something to eat. I don't know what to have. Not sure what to eat. I'm not feeling anything, but I know I'm hungry. I might just have a coffee. So I decided to have a coffee and a nut bar for my lunch. I am really hungry, but I'm hoping that the coffee usually helps me a fair bit with my hunger, so we should be good. Next, we've just got to check our blood sugar, check the carbohydrates in this, and take our insulin. So I have just calculated the carbohydrates for my coffee and my nut bar. So my coffee, I had the milk, but it was almond milk that I used, so it's 0.2 carbs, so I'm not going to count that. And my nut bar has 14 grams of carbohydrate, so I'm going to put that in my pump. We'll see how much insulin that I'm taking. We're not counting the carbs for the coffee, so we've got 14 grams of carbohydrate. So I should be taking 3.4 units of insulin. Okay, so I'm still not feeling too great. Still got that really sore head, so I'm going to check my blood sugars again just to make sure that it's not got anything to do with that. I don't think it does because the other sugars have been okay. Maybe it's because I'm not used to having sugars like this. I'm used to being a lot higher, and somehow today I've managed to keep them on the lower side. But anyway, we're going to check my blood sugar, make sure that everything's fine anyway, just to keep up. Okay, so let's do this again. Ready to scan. 5.2, so they're like spot on for what I want. Literally cannot believe that the day I'm filming a day in my life for people that struggle with getting good blood sugars, I'm actually getting good blood sugars. Like, this is not normal for me. Okay, so the issue with having your parents cook your dinner for you is, one, it is a bloody mountain of pasta, and two, I have not got a clue how much that weighed, so I'm going to have to just guesstimate it. So I am halfway through my dinner and I've decided that I don't want the rest of it. I've already taken all of my insulin for it, so probably going to go low later on. I actually feel a little bit low just now. I'm getting quite like sweaty and shaky, so I'm going to check my bloods as well while I'm here. Try and test our bloods. Still at 5.3, so I'm not low, but I think it's just because I'm not used to this level of blood sugar. I'm usually a lot higher, so I think that's why I'm feeling that I'm a bit low. I definitely will go low a bit later though, because I can't eat the rest of the dinner and I don't really want to eat anything else. So I've been avoiding this all day, but I finally have no choice but to change the insulin in my pump. These are actually new to me as well. I used to have an older version of this, so I'm still trying to get used to this version. I'm using my belly and like the back quite a lot, so I'm going to try and put it in my thigh. Done. Okay, so I refuse to believe I am the only person that has an issue with this, but that wee beep noise once the insulin is delivered really gets on my nerves. Why do I need to know that the insulin's delivered? I believe that you're going to do the job that you're going to do. I get that it might be useful to some people, but for me it's just annoying. I feel as if it makes people look at me because they're like, oh, what's that noise? And I'm just sitting in the background like, oh, it's just me beeping away again. So that wee beep noise, I'll put it in here so you can hear exactly what I'm talking about. That noise just gets on my nerves. Everybody looks at you. I want to be normal. I don't want to sound like a robot walking down the street. Okay, so it's Saturday night. Normally on a Saturday night I'd be going out with my friends to the town, going into the pub or clubs or whatever, having a couple of drinks, but we can't do that because of the pandemic. So we're actually meant to be on holiday right now as a family for my mum's 50th. We bought our turkey and we couldn't go because the flights have been cancelled. We're not allowed in any countries. So we are bringing it to us. So we are going to have a beach party, which means dressing like we're at the beach. And we are going to have a couple of drinks, so that will have an effect on my blood sugar. I'm expecting it to maybe hit the floor, but I'm going to have a couple of cocktails, so it might spike up. I'm kind of hoping it will spike up since I never ate the whole of my dinner. So I've not like corrected that with anything, so I am trying to get them to go a wee bit high, but I'm expecting them to fall to the ground as well. But I'll keep a wee eye on it and keep checking my bloods. Obviously, the more you drink, the less you remember to do that. So let's hope that this light doesn't go on too long. Should be fun. First up, a nice sugary cocktail, which is going to make my blood sugars hit the roof. Cheers! So we have our cocktail here, which is 20 grams of carbs, but because it's alcoholic, we're only taking half of the amount of insulin, so I'll be taking the insulin for 10 grams. So we had our beach party. I've had a couple of drinks. I've also had some sweeties because I garnished that with the drinks. So I probably had a lot more sugar than what I probably should have, but we can deal with it. For each drink that I had half the amount of insulin than what I would normally have, but I'm still expecting to hypo during the night. I've just done my blood sugars before bed. Like I said, I've had more sugar than what I'm supposed to have. I'm sitting at 20.8 just now, but I was kind of expecting it. It's just a consequence of drinking. I've never been able to sort it out. I've never been able to get it right. It's just one of these things. If I go out drinking, I know I'm not going to feel well during the night, or I'm not going to feel well the next day. I just know it, but I take the risk anyway. Yeah, I really hope that if you are diabetic, you maybe get a bit of comfort in knowing that you're not the only person that does struggle with it, and there's loads of us out here. It's okay. Now I am going to get ready for bed. Night! It is 3 o'clock in the morning. It's the aftermath of the drinking, and I thought I was going to bring you along just really quickly. I have finished my day in life, but I really want to show anybody that hasn't seen what drinking can do to you. It's 2.2 for my blood sugars. I feel horrible. I'm shaking. I feel really sick, and I feel really hungry, and this is just a really horrible low. So yeah, 2.2, I'm away to go and get some sugar. I never stuck to the 15 grams. I actually had more than this as well, but for now that is all, folks.